Hey guys, it's Cece, and today I am here with the first part of my new series of videos. This new series of videos I'm going to be doing is the If You Like That, Try This series. A lot of people have done this already with, if you like certain kinds of books, then read this kind of book, or if you like this kind of movie, read this kind of book. I'm going to be doing a collection of a whole bunch of different ones, and every month I'm going to have a different theme. But today I'm going to be starting off with the If You Like That, Try This Disney Princess Edition. I love Disney. I love Disney princesses, and unfortunately this was as close as I could come to a Disney princess shirt. I haven't been to Disneyland in far too long, guys, but don't worry. In August I'm going, and I'm gonna get myself some fabulous new Mickey Mouse shirts. So I am going to be recommending to you 6 books based on 6 Disney princesses, and I hope that you enjoy this series, and I hope that you will look forward to some of my other If You Like That, Try This videos. I have some great themes that are planned out, and I'm super excited to start making these. And let's just jump right in, starting off with Ariel. Ariel is headstrong, she is adventurous, and she's just looking for a little love, and if you happen to like her, you may like 13 Little Blue Envelopes by Maureen Johansen. 13 Little Blue Envelopes follows a girl named Ginny, and shortly after her aunt dies, she receives a letter from that aunt telling her to go on this crazy adventure throughout Europe. She drops everything and goes completely off on her own to go on this new adventure and to see so many new things and places that she never thought she would see, and she also happens to meet a certain boy. I think that Ariel and Ginny share a lot of similar qualities, and I think that if you're really into the happy, sweet romance aspect of The Little Mermaid, you will definitely appreciate the very sweet romance that takes place in 13 Little Blue Envelopes. And next, let's trot out another fabulous Disney princess, and that is Anna from Frozen. Anna, much like Ariel, is definitely after a sweet, sweet romance, but she is also very, very focused on a relationship with her sister, and maybe there's a little hint of magic on the side. And if you love all of these elements of Anna, I highly recommend that you check out the Princess Academy series by Shannon and Hale. This book follows a girl named Miri, and she lives in a place called Mount Eskel. Everyone there digs in the quarry, and they send all of the things that they dig down to the kingdom below, and then one day someone arrives and says that the prince of the great kingdom has been required to marry a Mount Eskel girl. And so all of these girls are sent to a place called the Princess Academy so that they can learn to be proper young ladies so that they can maybe marry the prince. It seems like kind of a stereotypical setup where you know exactly where it's gonna go, but it is completely unexpected, much the way that some of Anna's story is unexpected. It also focuses super strongly on relationships between girls, and there is a strong focus on friendship over romance. So yes, of course, even though they have princess in the title and it seems like an obvious choice, it is just because I think that if Anna was going to read a book, she would probably want to read The Princess Academy. And the next princess that I'm going to talk about is Tiana from Princess and the Frog. Tiana has always been focused on hard work over just having your life handed to you. She hasn't really been focused on romance, but maybe it happens to fall into her lap anyway. Not to mention the fact that there's always a little bit of magic involved. If you love all of these elements of Tiana, then I highly recommend that you check out the Dragon Slippers series by Jessica Day George. This series follows a girl, and her aunt wants to have her kidnapped by a dragon so that a prince will come and rescue her. She'll be able to marry the prince, and they'll be able to live in wealth forever. But the lead character is not interested in that. Instead, she would rather just go work hard because she loves to sew. This book does have dragons in it. It's got a great bit of magic, plus a lot of really fantastic humor, and the main character is really similar to Tiana in the fact that they both really value hard work, but it is through this valuing of hard work that they maybe find someone to love anyway. This is a fantastic little trilogy that I highly recommend and definitely has a lot of elements of Tiana. Alright, we're recommending books based on Disney princesses, so I'm sure you must have assumed that Belle would make an appearance in this video. Belle is absolutely a book lover. She adores the written word, but she also experiences being transported into some of the stories that she has been loving her whole life. And Belle also has a very special relationship with her father. If you like all of these elements, drumroll please, you may enjoy Inkheart by Cornelia Funke. Inkheart follows a girl named Maggie, and her father is a bookbinder, and it has just been the two of them for as long as she can remember. But what she doesn't know is that her father has the ability to, when he reads aloud, pull the characters out of the books he's reading. But unfortunately, the side effect to this is that once a character is pulled out, then a person from the real world must go in the book to take their place. This book has a lot of the elements that Belle has in her character. Maggie is a book lover. There is a scene where they describe her aunt's house, and it is incredible. The books that are stacked everywhere. I reread that chapter all the time when I was younger. It also represents being transported into a story that you didn't really think was going to happen to you. Maggie reads a lot of books about adventures, and then suddenly she's a part of one, just like Belle. Plus, that father-daughter relationship, though. The relationship between Maggie and her father, Mo, is so wonderful to read about, and it's so complex and interesting over the course of all 3 books in the trilogy. And I 100% guarantee that if Belle got her hands on Inkheart, she would see a lot of herself in Maggie, but she would also definitely enjoy the series. Plus, I think it'd be fascinating for her to learn all of the tidbits that you get from the series about how you bind books, which I was really interested in when I read it as well. Next up, one of my absolute favorite Disney ladies. She is my favorite Disney lady, actually, as a matter of fact, and that is Mulan from Mulan. Mulan is absolutely a female character who takes possession of herself and she makes her own destiny. Besides that, it is a pretty funny movie that has a really solid message that is laced throughout, and it's just an incredibly emotional story overall. And let's not forget dragons. With all of that said, I wonder if you can guess what I'm thinking of, because I was really excited about this one. If you love all of those elements of Mulan, you should 100% pick up the graphic novel Nimona by Noelle Stevenson. Nimona is a shapeshifter, and she one day crashes in on the villain Ballister Blackheart, and she decides she's going to be his sidekick, but she wants to make all of his evil plots more evil. But there is more to the story than meets the eye. Nimona is in complete control of herself. She doesn't really care what other people think of her, and she is a great fighter overall. Not to mention the fact that this is a really, really funny graphic novel that has some really serious moments, especially the ending, which wraps up and you're like, whoa, this got serious. And hey, Nimona's a shapeshifter. There are definitely dragons involved. I completely adore both of these stories, and I can definitely see why I love them, because they share a lot of similarities. So if you haven't checked out Nimona yet, and you happen to love Mulan, I highly recommend that you go and check it out. And the final Disney princess that I'm going to be talking about is actually not a princess. She is a queen. I want to talk about Queen Elsa, again from Frozen. Elsa is a very solitary figure. She's someone who is struggling to figure out how to rule a kingdom. Not to mention the fact that she's struggling to understand a magic that is a part of her that she doesn't quite know how to control yet. And of course, one of my favorite parts of Elsa and her story is that it is not romance focused, and all of these elements of Elsa are definitely present in The Queen of the Tearling by Erika Johansen. The Queen of the Tearling is a high fantasy book. It is the first of a trilogy, and it stars a girl named Kelsey who has been kept away from the kingdom her whole life so she can learn how to rule, and then on her 19th birthday she's taken back. And she has to fight a lot of people to get control of her throne again. Not to mention the fact that she's beginning to struggle with these gems that she has, which she's noticed some strange things about, namely magical things. Kelsey is not focused on romance at all, especially in the first book. There is no mention of that. It is all about her learning about herself, about her power, and about ruling a kingdom. I feel like if Kelsey and Elsa had a sit down, they could work a lot of things out, and they could become really good friends, and they could probably really assist each other. It just seems so very similar. So if you really loved Elsa's story and you really want to read a book about a character that's very similar to her, then I highly recommend that you check out The Queen of the Tearling. Alright, there you go. Those are my 6 recommendations based on Disney princesses and one queen. I hope that you enjoyed some of these recommendations, and I hope that they helped. If you want a couple of freebies, if you happen to like Rapunzel, you should probably check out The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman, which is about a girl who is locked in a room for so long that she goes crazy. Also, she has an obsession with wall decorations. And hey, if you're a super big fan of Aurora, I would recommend reading An Abundance of Catherines by John Green, which put me to sleep. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this first installment of my new series, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye!